everyone. This is Adalia Carrillo with Direct Cannabis Network, and on this DCN Talks, I have the honor of sitting down with a gentleman who's been investing in the cannabis industry for many years now. He is also a founding partner of a consulting firm for established entrepreneurs in the cannabis industry, as well as works with the ArcView Group as their finance strategy consultant. I'd like to welcome Sumit Mehta. How are you doing today?
Wonderful, Adalia. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you for joining us. So you've been investing in the cannabis industry for many years now. What prompted you to finally make that full time?
Yeah, I've been investing in the cannabis space for many years. Prior to that, I did a deep dive into the industry, and it became very apparent to me that the return potential in our industry was enormous. And I came in as an investor for that reason. And I was convinced that it wasn't just enough to put my money in the space. And so I quit a Wall Street career after 20 years last summer and put my time and effort with the launch of Mazakali.
Now, if we can go into that, what is the name? What is the meaning of Mazakali?
Mazakali is one of the 17 richest words in the history of language. It comes from the Sanskrit language, and it actually takes 8 English words to describe what it means.
Wow.
And those are aspiring to fly higher through peace and liberation.
See that? There's always a deeper meaning in company names, and that's a good one for our industry to propel it.
Thank you.
So what has been the most rewarding thing about being a part of the cannabis industry?
Yeah, undoubtedly, the most rewarding part of being in this movement is the incredible impact that we can have on global issues. Issues such as civil rights, social justice, the environment, and the medical industry at large. The cannabis plant has been with us for over 10,000 years, and I think we're very well served learning the crucial lessons the plant teaches us. Lessons in compassion, lessons in compatibility, lessons in collaboration, lessons in consciousness, and lessons in being in touch with our own conscience. The leaders of our industry espouse these values, and I am honored and humbled every day to work alongside them.
Now, being with Mazakali, what kind of companies are you seeing launch into this space?
Yeah, this is a very exciting time in a very exciting industry. We have a multi-billion-dollar industry that is growing at the fastest rate of any in the country, and the big companies in our country are not allowed to play because of federal regulation. So we're seeing, just like nature, business abhorring vacuums, and innovation is rampant as a result. We are seeing a lot of innovation in tech, in ag tech, in software and bioscience. We're also seeing innovation in transportation, in safety, in logistics. We're seeing companies come in that can provide payroll, provide benefits, and the list goes on. But there's no shortage of innovation and entrepreneurs coming into this industry.
And that's one of the things for people that don't know too much about our industry. It is uncommon for us to have, tax people, lawyers that are willing to work with the cannabis space. So that's good to see that you're seeing more and more of those kind of services come into our space. So what kind of advice would you give to a cannabis startup?
Firstly, I would say congratulations on making the leap, being a pioneer, joining a very exciting industry at a very exciting time. Secondly, I would say respect the organizations that have made it possible for the rest of us to be in business. Organizations such as the NCIA, MPP, and SSDP fight every day to alter laws, to influence laws, such that businesses like ours can survive. And we owe it to them we owe them the gratitude of making that possible. And lastly, run your business with the highest levels of authenticity, empathy, and morality, and good things will come.
That's a great piece of advice. Now, with a startup, many of the things that we have to do is our investor pitch deck. What key slides do investors look at? Or do you think they look at?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. A pitch deck is crucial to any conversation that an entrepreneur wants to have with an investor. And we are at the point in our industry where a good pitch deck is assumed. In fact, we wrote a green paper late last year on pitch deck construction. Essentially talks about a dozen or so slides that we think constitutes a good flow. What I would share with entrepreneurs is to focus more on the delivery, focus on cadence, be concise, be clear, be compelling, and have charisma. And remember that investors always bring curiosity, but it's your job to capture their attention.
How many numbers do you say go into the pitch decks? You know, I know ours have always changed. I had the honor of actually working with Sumit as he was my mentor with ArcView, and in a matter of weeks, my pitch deck actually transformed into telling our story. And it can really, does it matter on how many slides you have, or is that kind of just, you know, it goes into the flow of your company and what you're trying to get across, correct?
Yeah, we generally advise people to have 10 to 15 slides, depending on the length of the pitch.
Okay. So you being an investor and working with many investors in the cannabis industry, how do you see that these investors are valuing a cannabis company?
Well, valuing a cannabis company is really no different than valuing any other company. There are traditional methods of valuation, such as comparables, multiples, discounted cash flows, and in the case of public companies, market values that folks use. At Mazakali, we look at 2 or more of these methods to triangulate back to a more defensible valuation, certainly. One word of caution I would provide is that because we tend to value those things that we can measure most accurately, we are quite often precisely wrong rather than being generally right.
Interesting. So is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, congratulations on being part of a very exciting industry at a very exciting time. I would say to investors, thank you for your capital. We would also very much welcome your skills and your brain power. And for the entrepreneurs, remember that passion and purpose are excellent drivers, and profit is not a destination, it is simply a byproduct. Feed your soul and your wallet will get enriched. And to everyone else, I wish you a happy, healthy, and hilarious future.
Thank you. I really like that piece of advice and ending. So thank you so much for joining us today on DCN Talks and for sharing your insight and advice, not to only our entrepreneurs, but to the investors as well. How can our viewers learn more about your company?
Our website is likely the best place to get more information, mazakali.com. And thanks very much for having me.
Perfect. Thank you again. And thank you all for joining us as well. For DCN, this is Adelia.